Hey everyone. So I thought I would just talk about habits because it's been a while and I used to talk about habits a lot and I realized I haven't spoken about habits for a while. And so what are habits? Habits are things that you repeatedly do. So you will get out of bed and you will immediately fall into the same habit or the same routine that you have adopted for a long time. So for me, for example, I get out of bed, I have coffee, I feed the dogs, I then go and finish up the horses. So if they're in stables, they get let out, they get fed their breakfast, their stables are mucked out, and I come back to the house. And then at the moment, my routine is to have breakfast and then to begin my day. And that at the moment is what I would term my morning routine. Now, when the horses are not in stables, I have a change in routine. And it used to be that at 6 a.m. I would go to boot camp and I would exercise for the hour. And I don't do that at the moment, and my body suffers from it, right? But that was a routine, and it actually gets to the point, and you will recognize and resonate in this for yourselves, that when you wake up, you start to do what you've always done. You don't even think about it. It is just habit. It is habitual. So, for example, again, I use me when I used to drive into work. I would get up, I would shower, I would get ready for the day, I'd jump in the car and I would sit in traffic for half an hour, depending on what the Southern Motorway was up to. And I would get to work. So that was routine and that was habit. Then I changed that up and I started to get up at an hour and a half earlier to exercise before I got in the car to go to work. However, that change in routine, that change in habit took a lot of commitment and why power to begin it. So, what's why power? You've heard of willpower. Why power is more important than willpower because willpower, when you're not feeling that, when you let your thoughts control what you're prepared to do, willpower isn't enough anymore, right? It's very easy to hit the alarm and snooze and get up later and then not do what you wanted to do, which was the exercise. It's so easy when you're starting a new routine for that to happen. And that's why we need to have something called why power. Why is it so important for you to change your routine? Why is it so important for you to adopt a new habit? And this is also where compassion needs to come into play, right? Because if you're trying to do something new, you can't get upset, agitated, or annoyed if you do hit the snooze button and go back to sleep, because that's not going to make you do it any more tomorrow than it did today. You have to treat yourself with love, compassion, and support. Treat you as you would your best friend when they are trying to do something new, when they are attempting to change a routine that they have adopted for a very long time, because it does require a different drive within you. And that goes back to the why power. Why are you changing? What's driving you? What motivated you? And you know me, I always suggest you write things down, right? And the reason you write them down is because it gets them out of your head onto a piece of paper so that you can interpret them differently. You can see them differently. And if you do that, if you get out the reason why you want to change a habit or you want to introduce something new into your life, you then enable yourself to get clearer on it by writing it down. And then you can come up with a why statement, with a why power statement. Why is it so important for you? So for me, when I wanted to get up early before work and work out, it was because I wanted to ride my horses to that higher level. As you know, most things about horses to me. So therefore, that was my why power. My why power was I needed to get stronger and more balanced and more symmetrical and more flexible in my body to ride at a higher level and to help my horse achieve that higher level. So that was my why power. So when I wake up and I'm like, I'm changing my routine today, I'm going to get up and I'm going to start exercising. If I was tempted to hit the snooze button, I had a big post-it note explaining to me why. And I'm quite visual, so I have it as a picture. And that was enough to get me out of bed. Willpower was not enough. the why power was. And that's what you have to create for yourself, because the reality of the situation is you are what you repeatedly do. And I'm a big proponent about what you think is how you create your feelings, actions, and results. And it's the same thing with the why power, right? And it's the same thing with the habits. You have to change the thought behind it. You can't rely on motivation. You can't rely on an external outside pressure to create it. You have to create that within yourself. So you have to use whatever tool or mechanism works for you, because if you want to change who you are, you need to look at what you're doing, what you're thinking about, what is consistently turning up in your life, and that's the process. That's how you evolve. That's how you change. So I hope that was useful. So for the next week or so, why don't you start monitoring what you regularly do? What are your habits? Because you may surprise yourself, particularly those of you out there, and I have a few of you, you know who you are, bless you, my lovely clients, who tell me all the time, but I'm too busy. And when you keep a habit journal, when you actually start to track what you're doing to make yourself too busy in the 24 hours each day presents to you, you find out that for a good 5 hours, you're actually not doing much of anything. And it's those 5 hours that everybody usually has in their days that makes the difference between staying stuck, staying powerless, staying blue, to feeling alive, feeling energetic, loving life, getting back into the game of it. So why don't you do that as well? So if you're one of those people who think, no, I haven't got enough time, keep a habit journal. You'll be surprised. Love to hear back from you. So if you find any discoveries, share them. Let me know. It'd be great. Alrighty, I will talk to you all soon. Have a splendid day.